Hey Josie, how are you holding up? It feels like an eternity since we last had a conversation. I was just curious if you were okay.
Mateo, wow, it really does feel like an eternity. I'm fine. I'm doing much better without your presence in my life. So, what do you want from me? You've got a lot of audacity to contact me after everything you put me through. It's already been months since you abandoned me, and you suddenly want to have a friendly chat. Just so you know, I'm not interested in hearing your voice or seeing your face ever again.
I just want to know how you've been coping lately. That's all. You don't have to be so hostile. You must be feeling isolated, living all by yourself in that big house without me, right? You can't have erased me from your memory already.
Isolated? That's a hilarious joke. I stopped feeling isolated the moment you slammed the door behind you. Honestly, I felt more furious and heartbroken. But it's already been months. I'm not heartbroken over you anymore. I'm disgusted and still enraged enough to not want to have anything to do with you. But apart from that, I'm doing really well. I'm thankful to our lawyers that our divorce went so swiftly, and that it was all over so soon. Thanks to that, I didn't have to endure your presence in court as often as I feared.
Alright, I'm kind of stunned. I thought that you would still have some feelings for me. I mean, it's only been 6 months. You know, you can't have moved on from me that quickly, can you? I kind of feel like we've really drifted apart. I feel like there's a huge gap between us now. We used to be husband and wife, and we were madly in love. And we shared a home, ate meals together. But look at us now. It's so distant.
What are you trying to say, Mateo? I told you that I'm not interested in talking to you. That includes getting sentimental about how things were before. And what do you expect? I don't know where you're residing right now, but of course, we're distant physically and emotionally. We're divorced, and we're never going to cross paths ever again. We are complete strangers now. You're no different from any stranger I encounter on the street. The only difference between you and a stranger is that I would rather have a chat with any random person, rather than waste my time with you.
Josie, don't be so cold-hearted. You don't have to be so cruel towards me. I used to be your husband.
The key words are used to be. That was until you won the lottery and suddenly started acting like you were superior to me. Yeah, it was a lot of money. But I don't comprehend how you could have transformed so much in just a matter of hours. You discarded me on the day you won that jackpot. And you're telling me that I'm being cold-hearted? I have nothing to say to you, and I have no intention of being nice to a jerk like you.
Believe me, I feel really awful for what I did. I know I've been a jerk. That's why I messaged you today. I did something horrible, but I wish you could just give me a chance. I'm really sorry I wounded your feelings. I've been thinking about what I did since then, and I've learned from my mistakes. I regret ever doing something so foolish and reckless. I should have been more sensible when we were discussing the winnings and shouldn't have snapped like that. No, I should have paid attention to what you said more attentively. You're being so fair about what to do with the money. And I ruined our marriage because I was so greedy. I regret all of that and more.
The fact that you're saying that now means you're in the predicament I foresaw you'd end up in all those months ago, right? I hate to rub salt in the wound, but I told you so. I can't believe it took you so long to realize how mistaken you were. I could see it looming from a mile away, but I guess you just had to experience it for yourself.
I know I was foolish, and I'm sorry. I finally realized that you cautioned me that this would happen for my benefit. I was too dazzled by the money to comprehend that you were only looking out for me. I wish I could turn back time and change everything, but I can't. I was so foolish and I regret it all.
Yeah, you were so foolish and terrible too. I understand that winning $3 million was a huge deal. It's a lot of money, and it's not every day that such a colossal amount of money lands in your lap. I think anyone would freak out and get grandiose ideas about how they want to spend their windfall. I was pretty astonished too. And I won't lie, I fantasized about all the wonderful things we could buy too. But the way you reacted was abnormal. As soon as you knew you had the winning ticket, nothing else mattered to you. You only cared about yourself and the money.
I wasn't thinking clearly. It was like I was in a trance. I couldn't control myself.
All I proposed was that we should be prudent with how we spend the money and save as much of it as possible for our future together and keep some money aside in case we had children. I wasn't scheming to take anything from you, and I made no mention of splurging it all by myself. But you started ranting, screaming at me that it was your money and that I wasn't permitted to touch a single penny, that it was for you to use the way you desired to spend it. I never meant to take anything from you, but that's what you presumed, and suddenly... poof! Like magic. You were gone along with the money. You didn't even respond to my messages until you sent me the divorce papers. And even then, you only replied that you would give me alimony if I signed the papers. We had been together for 3 years, but all that went down the drain when you got that money and morphed into a completely different man. For weeks, I wondered what those 3 years were. If they meant nothing to you. After I stopped being miserable, I realized that I had already squandered 3 years and that I shouldn't waste any more time trying to make sense of what you did.
I know I was entirely to blame, but it was $3 million. Neither of us had even had a tenth of that amount in our banks at one time. You can imagine why I went so insane, can't you?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but that doesn't justify your behavior. You raved at me that my parents might come and plead with you for money because they're so destitute, and that you couldn't trust anyone anymore. You were offending me and my family with every word you said. Because you had all this money, you had this ludicrous idea that you were superior to all of us. I never knew you could be so spiteful and repulsive, and I was appalled that you could change so effortlessly because of some money.
I don't know what possessed me. I don't really know why I said any of that. I didn't mean it. You know that, don't you? I regret everything I did and said after that. I wish I could take it all back.
Really? It sounded like you meant it at the time. Don't try and escape from what you did. It's way too late for you to start imploring me for forgiveness. I couldn't care any less about how remorseful you feel. Your feeling bad isn't going to change anything. Anyway, what do you want? Let's get this over with.
What are you talking about?
There's a reason why you messaged me today, isn't there? I know you didn't just message me so that you could apologize.
No, I really was concerned about you. I wanted to show you that I had changed and felt terrible about what I did. I suppose I also wanted to find out what you did with the money I gave you when we divorced. I was just curious about how you use it, that's all.
Money? That's what you're obsessed with. You're talking about the large sum of money you gave me, right? You opted to give me that money instead of sending me regular payments of alimony because you didn't want to risk having me send alimony payments for the rest of your life, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that money. I gave you $200,000, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. What about it?
What did you do with it?
It's my money. So what does it matter what I did with it? I don't think it's any of your concern how I spent it. It's not like you imposed any restrictions for how I spend it when the amount was determined in court.
Yeah, but it was my money to start with. I think I have a right to know what you've done with it and dictate what you do with it, regardless of what was decided in court. And if you have any left, I was wondering if you could return it, since you're so clever when it comes to money. I was hoping you'd still have a lot left.
No way! You can't seriously be demanding it back. Of course I'm not giving it back. It may have been yours when you had it, but it became mine when you paid it to me as compensation. Do you understand the meaning of the word compensate? You're the one that abruptly asked for a divorce. So I was entitled to alimony, but you didn't want to pay that. And I didn't want to keep on having to face you in court. So I agreed to that money you gave me. I don't have any obligation to return that money to you. That money was due to me, and it's mine.
Yeah, it was compensation. But I only gave you a lot of money because I had a lot of my own money at the time. But I'm in trouble right now, and I need some money. It would be great if you could give it back. To be honest, it's my money, so I shouldn't even have to beg you.
What do you mean by trouble?
I got married after we divorced.
Oh, so the rumors I heard were true. Congratulations. I heard that you married someone. So how did that work out for you?
She ran away with all of my money. I never should have married her.
What? All of it? Can you believe it?
It was $3 million. So I thought that I didn't have to worry about anything for the rest of my life. I thought I could live like a star, so I quit my job and had a house built for me and my new wife. We filled it with luxury furniture and everything. We even had a pool put in. We were living the perfect life together until one day she suddenly asked for a divorce. After the divorce was finalized, I realized that all of my money had been transferred to her bank account and she was gone. We were divorced, my account was empty, she had vanished. She even told her lawyers that I'd been cheating on her, even though I'd never done anything like that. I'd already lost $1 million in compensation during the divorce for an affair I never had. And she took the rest of what was in my account without me even noticing it. I don't know where she is, but the last I heard, she was living in a penthouse apartment overseas.
You said you'd never cheated on her, but she managed to win the court case? That must have meant that she had enough evidence to argue for compensation. You can try and act the victim all you like, but in the end, it was your own fault. Your own reckless actions brought all of this upon you.
Yeah, fine. She had pictures of me with another woman. But how was it fair that she got $1 million in the divorce? It's my money.
So you did cheat on her after all. You're a pathetic excuse for a husband.
Yeah, alright, say all you like. Anyway, that's not my point. I've explained why I need the money. Can you give me back the money I gave you? I need it right now. My ex-wife got the house in the divorce too, so I don't have anywhere to live. She's not even using it. She's abroad. The woman bought it out for sale, and I was kicked out of my own house so that she could sell it and take more money from me. Josie, you're still living at the same place we lived in when we were married, right? Can we live together again?
Excuse me? Are you asking if you can move in with me?
Let's just forget about everything that happened in the past and live together. I want us to start over. I'll be a better husband this time. Even if we don't have the $3 million, I know that we can be happy together. I still love you. We can work through this together. I swear I'll make you happy this time.
No way. You must be out of your mind. It's disgusting how you think you can slither your way back into my life again. We are over, and we are never getting back together. Ever. The divorce was finalized, and I'm free of you. I don't have anything else to say to you. Plus, I've already moved out of that house and sold it. I'm living somewhere else.
Why do you move down? Where are you living now? Are you still close by?
I'm not giving you the details of where, but I'll tell you a bit about it. Thanks to the compensation I got from you, I was able to buy some pretty reasonable shares. I had to be patient, but it went really well. I managed to earn a profit from it.
You bought shares? I never knew that you knew how to do that kind of stuff. Why didn't you tell me when I had the $3 million? We could have made an even bigger fortune.
Don't be stupid, Mateo. It was beginner's luck. And of course, I didn't put the entire 200K you gave me into buying shares. I invested a reasonable amount and got lucky. Once I made a decent profit, I backed out and put all the money I made into a savings account. Right now, I'm working full-time and using the money I've saved up to live a little more luxuriously. I buy organic and I spend money on the things I love and enjoy, but I still have money saved for a rainy day. Thanks to that, I was able to get a penthouse apartment in a really lovely area. It's not filled with designer furniture, so it might not be as fancy as the place you had, but it's home. I realized early on that it was dangerous to impulse buy when you have so much money at your fingertips, so I try and only buy what I need or really want. I'm doing really well at work too, so everything's going perfectly smooth sailing. I was being serious when I said I was doing better without you. Honestly, I'm grateful that you won that lottery. And I'm glad that you told me you wanted a divorce when you did. If you hadn't, I would have been stuck with you.
You're living in a penthouse apartment too? You're kidding. I never imagined that you would end up being so successful. It's only been 6 months since we divorced. But that's my money you're standing on. You and my other exes, you're both living in luxury. Thanks to me.
It's money we were owed. I don't know what to say about the money she took from your account. Except maybe it was just karma coming around to bite you in the ass. By the way, how much money do you have saved right now?
About $200?
Huh? You can't be serious. You're turning 36 this year, aren't you? You don't have a place to live. You're unemployed and you only have $200 saved. I would sympathize, but I know that it's all your own fault. What are you planning to do from now on?
I was just kicked out of my house last week. I haven't been able to find a job yet. I thought that I could sell the house, but my other ex got it in the divorce, so I don't have anything worth selling. I already failed one job interview and I didn't know what else to do. So I decided to message you, hoping that you could help me.
What about your parents? Why don't you ask them to let you stay with them while you find a place of your own and a job?
Some idiots in my parents' neighborhood found out that I won $3 million and started harassing my parents. Most of it was really childish, throwing toilet paper around. But they were getting death threats in the mail and stuff too. Some magazines are asking for interviews nonstop. My parents ended up moving away and they cut ties with me. I need your help, Josie. I don't have anyone else.
You're the idiot, Mateo. That's the reason why I warned you about bragging about your wins. Everyone. Just because you won $3 million doesn't make you better than everyone else. I told you shouldn't get carried away with it, didn't I? But you didn't listen. And you lost a lot of friends and made a lot of enemies in the process.
I know I regret a lot of what I did. I regret not listening to you the most, because none of this would have happened if I just did as you said. That's why I want to get back together again. I need you to keep me in check.
Sorry, Mateo, but I'm not interested in being your babysitter. We're never getting back together. There's not even a 1% chance of it happening.
Why not? I'm not asking you to be my babysitter. I want us to be husband and wife again. We didn't get divorced because we stopped loving each other. You still love me, don't you? We can get back together again.
You must be joking. You're the only one that thinks we still have a chance. I don't know whether you actually still have any feelings for me, or if you're just saying all this because you want money. But either way, it doesn't change how I feel about you. The second you said you wanted a divorce, I hated you from the bottom of my heart. You chose your money over me. You made that really clear during the divorce. Now I'm indifferent. I couldn't care less about what happens to you.
How can you say that? That's worse than telling me you hate me. Please, I'm on my knees here. Have some mercy on me. I need your help. We were married once, remember? We shared a home for 3 years. We can leave the past behind and start over.
No way! You're the one who wanted a divorce after 3 years of marriage. Don't use that as an excuse to get back with me.
Then, can you at least give me some money? That's all I'm asking for. You said you have some savings at home. You can afford to help me out, right? You got that money because of me. You owe me. Please, I don't even have a roof over my head. I'm desperate, Josie. You're the only one I can count on.
I don't owe you anything. You won $3 million, and you said you didn't trust me with your money. You said I would blow it all on shopping sprees. God knows where you got that idea. You said you wanted to enjoy your money your way and force me to sign the divorce papers. And you took off with all your cash. Well, guess what? I can do whatever I want with my money too, including the money I got as compensation. I don't have a dime to spare for you.
Then what am I supposed to do? The reason you have so much money now is because of me. Don't you feel any gratitude towards me? You could at least give me something as a thank you. It's not fair that you're living in a luxury apartment and have money in the bank and still have a job. I have nothing. How can I live with that?
Why should I care how you live? You were living in a mansion full of fancy stuff and living the high life for a while, weren't you? I heard your new wife was a real beauty too. You didn't have to lift a finger and spent your days lounging around, sleeping and eating, I suppose. Do you remember what you said to me when you left me? You said you were rich and you deserved better than a dull old woman like me. Even though we're the same age. Even though you would be just as dull without your money. You said you were going to find someone younger and prettier. Someone who matched your new status. Did you think I would forget that?
I don't remember saying anything like that, but I'm sorry. I really am. I wasn't myself then. I didn't mean any of that. I never thought that way. You didn't take me seriously, did you? Ever since we got divorced, I've been missing you. I just want to get back together. I realized after living with my other wife for a few months that you were the only one for me. I need you, Josie.
Really? You need me? Thanks, I'm so touched.
Is that all you have to say? I'm begging you here. Just hear me out. Please, can't you show some interest for a minute? I just need $1,000, that's all. I won't bother you again. I'll pay you back. Josie, are you listening to me? If I have $1,000, I can buy lottery tickets again. I'll win big and I'll give you everything you want.
You've got to be joking. I guess money really does make people crazy. You see all these stories in the news about how people wasted their winnings on something stupid, but you beat them all. I've never heard of anyone who had to beg their ex for money to gamble on a second win. If you think that's the solution to your problems, then you're beyond help.
How can you say that? There's still hope for me. You can help me. I just need some cash. We can make things right if you give us another chance and support each other through this. I want a fresh start with you. I love you. Don't you love me too? Don't you have any compassion for me?
You don't love me. You just love what I have that you don't, my money. And I don't need anything to be fixed. My life is awesome as it is now. It's not flawless yet. But you're not the one who will make it flawless. You need to change your attitude and solve your own problems. Leave me alone.
I do love you. You're all I have. Give me my money back.
It's not yours. I earned this money because of the choices I made. You squandered yours because of the choices you didn't think through. Don't ever text or call me again, you jerk. Let me return the favor you did to me. I deserve better than a dull old man like you. I'm going to find someone who loves me and live happily ever after without you. I'm blocking your number, so don't bother me. Goodbye. After that, Josie blocked Mateo's number and blocked him on all of the social networking platforms they were connected on. Josie was able to erase Mateo from her mind pretty easily and was relishing her tranquil life without him. She was living her dream life, concentrating on her career and returning to the apartment she had decorated with things she adored. Mateo, on the other hand, had squandered what remained of his savings and still couldn't pass an interview because of his evident lack of work ethic. He didn't change his attitude and accused the interviewers of being unfair and biased. As a consequence, he started borrowing money from loan sharks, and with that money, he began gambling at his closest casino. Of course, it wasn't that simple to make a fortune, and the gambling only made his debt larger and larger. He was burying himself deeper and deeper, but he still didn't change his attitude. After realizing how enormous his debt had become, he became desperate. But instead of trying for another job interview, he attempted to rob money from a convenience store and was apprehended by the police. Josie found out about Mateo's arrest on the morning news, but was too apathetic to care. She only commented that money really does make people lose their minds, and continued with her day as she normally would. Mateo was just another stranger to her now.